Tell me when you have it unpaused.
It's running.
Oh, okay. Good morning, Dale.
Good morning, Susan.
We've already done this good morning thing once. We Today is Tech Trouble Tuesday. It started out with both of us having technology issues. Dale's having lighting issues. I'm having lighting issues, in case you can't tell. I couldn't get rebooted. My Wi-Fi was off. So we're going on and on about that. And we just did this great video for about 15 minutes, and Dale had paused recording right before we started recording. So none of it got recorded.
Do you
So
remember the video from or the movie a while back called Napoleon Dynamite?
yes, of course I do.
Do you remember there's one of my favorite lines that in that movie, and a lot of people have this favorite line, and my wife and I use it all the time in our relationship around the house, and but it's like idiot because there's a part in that movie where Napoleon's yelling idiot or somebody's yelling idiot, and it's just like so yeah, I fall into that category this
I've
morning.
already flipped him off camera. Just so you know.
Off camera. Susan, geez. Anyway, that's pretty funny. You did. And I actually said, are you going to? And you did. So that was
He
pretty
earned it.
good. Well, all right. So
Oh,
the point of this video is to move on from that and talk about, so let me share my screen and bring back up or bring forth what we were talking about. And
yep,
can you see it? Is it there?
it is. It
It
is. And
is.
it's showing me a great event coming up toward the end of February in Chandler at We Serve. And it's a I think a 2 hour talk by Tina Tambauer with the Cromford Report and being sponsored by WCR.
So what it is and the details of it aren't relevant
Nope.
for people watching this video, obviously, who live in Houston and other places, or Philadelphia, LA, or wherever. And because in time this will be gone, and so it's not about this event, but it's about
No.
what this event represents for agents who are just for represents for agents, period. So I'm gonna
Yep.
stop my sharing, not the video. Har har.
Oh,
All right, so you can see our screen again, yes?
yes.
Okay. So when you sent this to me the other day, at first I was like, hmm, but thinking about it, and then I called to talk to you, and you said something about sponsoring it, and then we really got into that event and all the other events that agents can go to. I mean, agents can go to a ton of events. Like that could be their job going to events. There,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
realtors who are in the business professionally, one of the things that they're coached to do and told to do is you got to have real estate conversations with people.
Yep. Real estate conversations are key.
So one of them is to go get educated about real estate stuff. And this particular class or 2 hour presentation is from, the Cromford Report, which is a local thing we have in the Phoenix market,
Yep.
where it's a very enduring, um, long time running economic housing forecast uh,
Right.
that has been going on. I've been involved in the Phoenix real estate finance market since 2004, and it's been, to my knowledge, it's been going on that long.
Yeah.
So
Cromford's been around a long time.
it's been around a long time, and
Regarded as very high quality around here.
it's great information, but what it pulled forth for me was, well, wonderful, but what are you going to do with it?
Right.
Like, how do you do something with it? What do you do with the information you go to this event, but other events? What happens to that information that realtors get? And I know you have some insights on that, so I'm going to give it back to you, and then we'll talk about how it circles back to
Yeah.
iFoundAgent. But I'm going to let you go because I asked you that question. You said, that's a really good question. And here,
It is a good
so
question. And
what
for
what
person,
happens to the information that agents
yep.
get exposed to for the typical agent, what happens?
Yeah. And I'm guilty of this. So I speak from personal experience, plus seeing going to so many of these things myself and engaging with other agents and knowing what they're doing. So if there were 100 agents that went to this presentation
Yeah.
and saw, heard, absorbed this awesome, usable information, data, um, things that they could have conversations about with customers and clients. Of that 100, 90% will do nothing. One,
Wow.
a few of them, or 90%, 90 of them of the 100 will do nothing. A few of them might take notes and kind of memorize some things if they're really good at that and be able to share them at a cocktail party, or um, maybe they do a YouTube channel, maybe they, I don't know, they speak about them, but most of them will do nothing with it because they hit a roadblock with, oh, I got this great info today at this presentation, and now I want to share it with my customers and my clients. And they don't have the time or maybe the knowledge or the the technological ability to create. Who are they going to send it to? How are they going to send it to them in a meaningful way that makes sense to the client? You
Yeah.
know, just because I learned something great about real estate from a source does not mean the source gave it to me in an exact way that I need to deliver it out there.
Yeah.
And if I just type up an email to 500 people, 100 people, whatever I want in my database, and copy a chart or a quote or paragraph or whatever thing I'm going to send out, okay, that's a one way That's a one way. It's a one way to nothing. Not that they're not going to read it. They might. And even if they do, it ain't going to go anywhere but that. It's going to make get received, but it's going nowhere. That is not a real estate conversation. That is
Yeah.
not engagement. Engagement is back and forth.
Yeah.
Send, receive. You know, this kind of thing. Keeping them in Susan's world. And so that's where we come in. So that and Dale comes in and I come in to be able to use our system to take that wonderful information and share it and use it in an engaging way.
Well, I want to, before we go to that, one of the things that I um, want to tie this to is every year or almost every year, I don't know what the frequency is, but the National Association of Realtors does this national home buyer survey. And what they've consistently found over the years is 90% of all home buyers who've used a realtor in their transaction would use that realtor again
Yep.
or refer that realtor to somebody else.
Yep.
And this isn't exactly, I mean, I don't know if I have it exactly couched, but only 20% do
Yep.
after something like 2 years.
Yep.
And that's a product of what you're talking about. Agents
100%.
don't stay engaged, and there's reasons for why they don't. The technology, or they don't have technology. Hey, it's expensive to stay in touch with somebody for 7, 8, 10 years before they sell their house again.
And it takes time. It takes
It
effort.
takes
It takes
time.
a lot. Yeah.
What do you send them on an ongoing basis to be interesting and useful to them? That's a whole nother. We've already talked about some of that in some of our calls. So yeah, it doesn't surprise me what you're saying. 90% go to this thing, 10% will do something with it. And there's reasons for that. They get busy. Now they're a day away from it
Selling houses. They're
and
out,
they're selling.
hopefully.
They're on to the next thing. Yeah. So when I think about it with iFoundAgent, one of the things that we fix for agents is, especially for the homeowner crowd, which agents have a tough time staying in touch with over time because it is, what do you keep sending people? What's interesting enough to them to have them pay attention to what you're sending them. And I argue here it's not homeowner tips and maintenance tips and
Recipes.
recipes and what to do this weekend because Google's great for all that information. That's what people do nowadays. They just Google it. Hey, how do I make mashed potatoes or how do I make, like that's how do I make this great double chocolate brownie, or whatever. So what we've taken the position with I found is homeowners get this homeowner report around their house. But to take this information from a Crawford report or a class or whatever you go to, it's super simple to do a quick blog post on your website and put some information on there. You could use chat, you could use us, but put something on there that's interesting and written by you for your clients or for your local market. How does this apply to you? Or how does this apply to your people? And then use the internal system that we have to shoot that information out. And everything we do is designed to pull their eyeballs back to your website
Keep them in your world.
in your world.
You as
Exactly.
an agent should present yourself through your website.
Yeah.
Whatever image or concept of who you are and what you do you want to present to the world, you create that in your website. Different conversation, but that's already there. And so this is a tool that you send out to people that brings them right back and keeps them in your world.
Yeah. I mean, it's great to use social media, Facebook and
Oh yeah.
Instagram and TikTok or whatever else you're
But even those
using.
should link back to your website.
But all of that stuff should point back to where you can put more or a fuller conversation, a
Uh-huh.
fuller piece of information. What you can do in Facebook isn't what you can do in your website.
Right.
And Facebook isn't going to get you found in Google necessarily, right? So do the base work in your site and then take that and put it out at the different places to bring eyeballs back. And then with our system in particular, use that to communicate, use that to email, to text, etc., to your client base. So that's how that struck a chord with me was
Exactly. And we can even if you're like, I can't blog, I can't, we can show you how to easily create something, or we can do it for you. There might actually be a chart or a graph that's colorful and easy to understand that could be what you share. But you're not going to just email it out. You're going to link it. You're going to send a link to it or to so that it's inside your website. We'll help you do that, so that what you're sending to them keeps them engaged with you. And we do it in an automated sense so that
yeah,
you're not spending all this time doing it. If you've got your website rolling, with us, we can show you how to do it easily and simply, and we can do a lot of it for you, which again can be an ancillary service that we don't just do it for free, but we can do that for you. It's very affordable. Trust me, I'm fairly frugal.
yeah.
And so I speak the truth.
And for those agents who are watching their pennies, which a lot of them are right now, we're teaching classes and we have videos on how to do stuff. And
Yeah,
we're,
exactly. So you
yeah,
can you can do it yourself, or say your partner or one of your adult children is in a techie world. Like I know tons of agents that use family members for that stuff. Tons
yeah,
of them.
yeah,
And it's doable. It's doable. Or
yeah,
again,
for
do it
sure.
yourself. So
All
we
right.
love, we love that idea of
Have
keeping
we
you
kicked
in.
this down the road? We done with, do you think we've covered this enough?
I do. And we're here. You reach out to either one of us and we can give you a little more in-depth conversation on it.
Yeah, we'll have some links in the description.
Sure.
Best thing to do, schedule a demo to talk to us about our system and how it applies to you. We work with agents that are single agents all the way up to brokerages.
Yep.
We have a way to work with anybody in the real estate, residential real estate world. We do some property management websites, but we're very big in the residential real estate world and agents staying in touch with their people.
Yep. Yep.
All
Well,
right, thanks,
awesome.
Susan.
I hope your technology world is smoother for the rest of the day, and mine too.
I hope it is too, and I hope that when I look up at the top of this, that the video's still
I'm not
rolling.
doing it again, Dale. I'm not.
We're not. Nope. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.